Okay, some of you will remember a few videos about room modifications, and I just said what I was doing for the most part, and there's some funny clips here and there of the paper going up, and you'll remember me sitting down in here very early on during the takeover of this room and converting this room of me saying, I'm going to have so much space, and it has been great. It's still not finished. And as I took off the pendulum light, it feels like when you get the cable down and a light bulb at the end of it, it feels like people, the reason why they buy the shades, the light shades, the lamp shades, is to hide how ugly that is. And it feels like something from the 70s. It just feels tacky, horrible. So there's still beading to go around the baseboard. There's ceiling boarding to go up, and I'll probably wire some LED lighting between. I'll show you the. It's the 3D, what do they call it, 3D flute, soundproof boarding. It's going on the ceiling, and so you need either really good screwing for finding the joist, or you need a really good adhesive. I've been flipping between two ideas. I've been up in the attic to see where the joists are, and I can tell where some of the joists are, just where it's kind of pressured the ceiling a little bit here. Um, I've decided after doing a bit of research, I'll use the glue because it's going to stay there anyway, and the ceiling's pinned anyway. Okay, it'll be fine. Um, and I've screwed some screws in to get a good feel for uh, the pressure going into the joist. Because where is it? I do have a power screwdriver here, which is going to aid some things. Changing a light fixture, probably. I've got some ideas of that. You fit in tube LED lighting that doesn't get. There's certain ones that don't get too hot, and the paneling is very heat resistant anyway. It's fireproof. I forget what they said. It's the very dense felt is treated with something to make it fireproof. Regardless of it, yeah, it's precautionary. I can't imagine us ever having a fire here, as long as we're careful. But this boarding, I'll go and show you. So this is the boarding, quite wide, quite long, and I think two of these this way, going its lengthways across the widthways of the room, and that will leave room then for others going lengthways across there. Of course, it's going to have to be a little bit different when I get to here. Let's see this with a corner that goes through. That's solely because the way they partitioned this over is, say, the room next door, this bit coming out here is their cupboard for the clothing, and that bit right in the corner is my cupboard, right past my big head there. It's just there, right, here's clothing cupboard. And yeah, this should look real nice once this is done, and some of the screws will go in temporarily while I'm gluing, just to hold it there for a bit. Because I'm going to be doing it on my own, and I ain't got nobody to help, just to hold something for a while. Because the type of glue that I've got is recommended for this particular job, but it won't completely cure until 48 hours. However, it will grip enough within 20 minutes. So no, I'm not going to be up there going holding it for 20 minutes. It's going to get arm ache. There'll be ways to utilize propping it up and the screws going in just to hold it for so long, and then the screws can be removed. So yeah, there's certain types of thin LED lighting that can come through between these panels. This is You got a thin veneer layer on top to make it look like, it says oak, but I would call this pine. I wonder if they labelled it wrong. And underneath that is your MDF. It's pretty thick, solid MDF anyway. Yeah. And you can see from the back, this is firmly stapled on. There's some play in this so you can have some manipulation. I've measured on the floor. Should roughly match the ceiling, although there'll be some differences because you've got the baseboard and so on. It should work out okay. Again, these will be there lengthways across here, two, one row here, another row, and another one lengthways above where I sleep and all that. I've been doubling down on the homework with this because I get a little bit anxious on these sort of things, like paranoid, where there's no need to. Because I know I've done the right kind of homework, but the stupid paranoia man in my head is going, "You want it really secure because it might fall on you," and everything I've looked at is like, no, it's going to be really, really secure. Especially the bonding I'm using. What's it called? Can't remember the name for it. I've just ordered some anyway. So what was it? Those who have ever used any Gorilla Glue products, you'll know Gorilla Glue is utterly amazing if you get applying to the right sorts of things. And arriving tomorrow, Gorilla Heavy Duty Grab Adhesive White goes on white. There's some that go on white dry clear, but you're not going to see it anyway. So this and best way to do these is you glue in your zigzag across. This way you're covering every aspect of little play here and there where it might be slightly heavier than other bits in micro amounts. It will even out the whole thing. Yeah, that's all I've got to say, really. It's all purpose. Claims to bond anything to it. I've used Gorilla Glue for things before. I've used it for extensions of plug sockets when I was changing this room. And there's a strip plug glued to a door frame here, just ahead of me here at the bottom. That's not moving at all. I've also used it a little bit in, I don't know if you could see that. I need to look at my screen to see if you can see that behind me. Probably not. Hide OBS, show OBS. Yeah, next to the fish tank is awkward. You can't see it from there, but next to the fish tank there is a plug socket powering, but the cabling, I'm all over the place here, sorry about that. The cabling actually goes above the baseboard a little bit from a plug socket. I extended from a socket and behind the sofa, extended it actually from the wall cabling, and then blanked that off, and it's extended so right by the end of the sofa here this is a double plug socket with USB slots. So that's one thing I modified, and the cabling then comes from just glued above the baseboard there, and it comes down in the corner and it goes underneath the transition plate between the room and where I keep my clothes, and up just by the fish tank, and two plug sockets there, and there's an extension put on that which goes underneath the fish tank for plug sockets, everything, things like that. I've enjoyed doing little projects like that. It's kind of creative. Again, the blinds were part of an old blind, this wooden piece on top, hooks in. So what I did, this long wooden piece was part of an old blind at the top there. and there was hooks in there for what was already like curtain rail holding stuff. I took all that out and put the hooks in, and then cable tied this wooden strip to these blinds where the hooks are on the blinds, and put these two blinds side by side on one wooden piece. So I got control then of, if I want one open, I can. If I want both of them up, I can. One lower than the other, I can. So it can control the lighting in here a bit. Particularly this time of year, it gets quite bright this side of the building. Again, yeah, I've got to, when it does get dark though in here, I got other means beside the. That's not working anymore because I took that off. And make sure before you do anything with electrics, of course, go in there, look at your switch box. There's switch box. I got lights, one, which is downstairs, and another switch is lights, two, which is all downstairs. But if you're confused or you're not sure, turn the whole thing off before you start meddling with any electrics. I mean, it's a shame I gotta say it, but I know of some people who just fucked around with things and got little shocks here and there. They're okay, but they're just stupid. It was like turning off. You're risking your life. I got some, talking about modding things. This, what I'm opening up right now, isn't so much for the room. It's something that is used in the room. It's my chair. With this flooring, when I drag my chair around, it sounds a lot downstairs. It's like, despite having supposed to have wheels that move, but you can mod these things. So if you look up, I'll put this back and I'll come back to you. Pack of dry roasted there. I didn't know I had. Yeah, I got the munchies, so they'll be assimilated soon. So dragging this, if you look up on, I couldn't find it anywhere else, so I plumped for getting this off Amazon. I don't like buying stuff off Jeff Bezos, his company, but sometimes you gotta. So chair wheel replacement. These are office wheelchairs, rubberized. See this, like clear bit to this. This is rubberized. Pressing this is soft and rubbery, and they're all hopefully like a universal size. So we're going to find out now. I'm going to yank the wheels off and put these on. This will make the chair a tiny bit higher, I guess. Not sure I want that. It's high enough anyway, but unless I could, it's on its lowest. We'll find out. Looking at reviews, people are really happy with it, but you again, even on the reviews on Amazon these days, is questionable. But I can't see why it wouldn't work actually, because there's a lot of play in this way, and there's a lot of play this way, and there's a lot of absorbing of vibration because it's rubberized. So we're going to find out right now, okay? So replacement rubber wheels, chair casters for all floors, including hard floors, office chair casters for home and office chairs, not to replace office chair mats. Office chairs, I read that wrong. To replace, yeah. Don't know why I said not to replace. It's better than having an office chair mat then that is supposed to absorb the sound, right? God, it's very clammy weather today, very hot. Don't know if I'll be able to pop these out after my weight being on them. We'll find out. So that's quite hard. Oh yeah, does come out. So yank them out. You might need to give it some welly, and that looks like the same to me, more or less. It'll go. Well, sort of. We'll find out. Okay, they do eventually. You got to give it a bit of belting, some pressure. So that's on. There's. I'll cut the video and we'll test it. All I can say is, oh my goodness, this is so much quieter. I don't know if anyone else has ever heard it on the videos I've done. But dragging this chair around. Normally made a lot of noise, but this, and it travels so nicely as slide around you and his nose. Beautiful, completely silent. Bad design. These they don't have nearly enough play in this direction, and they're not anywhere near enough play in this direction, spinning around. And the rough, hard plastic. So on the floor they do drag a bit sometimes. If one wheel has taken more of a command than the others just drag around and eventually fall in place with whatever direction. But these, because they move this way so easily and they're so easily on bearings, they move very easily, and that soft, it's hard but enough softness to it, rubberized covering, you can't hear it. Oh, I love this. I just got to spend the whole afternoon just spinning around and traveling around the room on the chair. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.